What a surprising little film we have here. Code 3. I don't like the title of this film. I don't like the poster, but I gave it a shot regardless because I just rewatched Bringing Out the Dead, Scorsese's film with Nick Cage. Not his best. So after that, I thought, you know what? Let me check out Code 3, which I thought was going to be a light-hearted comedy, kind of like a buddy cop thing, but with ambulance drivers. I was wrong. This completely caught me off guard. I went blind into this, and yeah, it flipped the script. Let's get into it. I mean, this film drops you straight into the high stress world of an LA ambulance crew doing their thing over the course of a 24-hour shift. And the film centers around Randy, played by Rainn Wilson. I haven't seen him in many things in a while. But yeah, he plays like a two-decade veteran paramedic who's on his final shift, or potentially his final shift before he calls it quits. His partner, Mike, not as seasoned as Randy, but has enough experience and has been around the block. And then we've got Jessica to round off the crew, who's I guess kind of a ride along, a bright-eyed, bushy tail, just to see how the world of ambulance drivers, of paramedics, goes throughout the day. So first of all, like this film, it highlights the day-to-day, ins and outs of what it's like to be, a paramedic. What they go through, the emotional highs and lows, the procedural nonsense, the paperwork, the chain of command, the broken healthcare system, I guess, as well. Man, it's full on. Like they don't shy away from anything. First off, if you are squeamish around blood and guts or uncomfortable scenes or things like that, this may not be for you because it surprised me with how graphic it got in certain moments, not just visually, but also dialogue wise. There is some very dark moments. Like it's a far more serious film than I first imagined. And don't get me wrong, there are comic moments throughout the film. A bit of dark humor, bit of black humor. Um, I can see people switching this off though, due to the subject matter. It could hit close to home for some people. Overall, it's taking a very realistic look into this world. There's an authenticity here. And I read that one of the writers used to be a paramedic, so it kind of makes sense. You see that bleed throughout the film. Rainn Wilson, though, man, this is the highlight. He plays Randy. He is brilliant in this. I'm not kidding when I say give this man an Oscar. He deserves it. The raw performance that's been given here. You see someone on the brink of burnout, perhaps beyond, and you see the conflict. You feel the compassion. Ryan Wilson, man, he really lays it out here. He delivers. And there's a bit of fourth wall breaking by this guy. And I tell you what, those are actually some of the best parts of the film. I really enjoyed when they did that, just because they address the audience and explain this is, what our life is like. And the other two main stars, Lil Ray Howery, played by, well, I'm sorry, as Mike, Lil Ray Howery, I guess is the guy's name. Yeah, difficult for me to say. He's kind of the foil, brings a bit more humor into the film. Still adds a bit of seriousness and respectfulness to the job, the as a paramedic. So it works really well. And then we have Amy Carrero as Jessica. She's the ride along, adds a bit of balance, I guess, looking from the outside. And I suppose she's supposed to represent the general audience. The humor in this, as I mentioned before, dark, there's pitch black humor, you could say, fits for the most. You understand that people in this line of work, they need to have this trait in order to, I guess, pretty much survive the day. Otherwise, they're just going to go crazy, break down. Who knows? Another huge positive for me is that this film moves. I mean, the way it's shot, the way it's paced, so good. They make perfect use of the runtime. You never feel bored. Yes, let's get into some negatives though, because there are some. Yes, there are. Um, there are some moments where they take patients to the main hospital, and there seems to be like this. I guess over the top conflict between paramedics and doctors. I don't know if it's really like this when they go to hospitals, but the film seems to blow this out quite, quite heavily. And I don't know, I can't imagine a healthcare professional actually behaving like this, but who knows? Someone corrects me if they do. I mean, there's also a couple of scenes which I think are just played for laughs. And they, for me, don't really work with all the other serious stuff that's going on. They're injecting dark humor, but there are a couple of scenes which I think are just purely played for laughs. And I was like, okay, didn't need that, but whatever. Overall, man, I give this film a 7 out of 10. This film definitely needs more attention. You can watch it on streaming. You could throw comparisons between this and, I guess, Bringing Out the Dead, just because of the nature that they're both circling around the world of paramedics. For me, I actually think Code 3 is a better film. I don't like the title, but I think it's a better film. Not hating on Bringing Out the Dead, but let's be honest, it's not anywhere near Scorsese's best, and I found Bringing Out the Dead to have quite a lot of boring moments in it. Code 3, I recommend checking it out. Once more, though, please take note that it does contain some very graphic elements. So if you're not into that kind of stuff, then may not be for you. But it is a great watch. I really think it's worth a go. Thanks for listening, everyone. Have a great time.